It's sport talk time with the man, the myth, the legend, I like to call him, Mr. Dan Manucci of Fox Sports, 9:10 a.m. Roc, Manuch, and Jimmy B. Manucci, how are you?
Brad, I'm doing great. Always ready for duty, sir, especially on a bright and early Thursday morning. How are we doing this gorgeous Thursday morning?
Well, you know what? I'm doing good. On Tuesday, I wasn't too well. Monday, I wasn't really well because 2 hour getting into the stadium. 2 hours I sat in traffic. 2 hours to watch the Cardinals leave. They didn't show up. Thought they were. So let's touch upon that, and then we'll get some really happy news about you. But what is it time? I think it's time. I thought I was going to say the players. It's time for the coach to go. Time to go. What do you think?
Yeah, matter of fact, we beat that up a little bit this week. Is it time for Cliff Kingsbury and Steve Keim, the general manager, to go? Or is it because of so many injuries? And now that Kyler Murray is out with an ACL, there's that going back and forth. You know, quite frankly, Bradley, myself, I've seen enough of this experiment, okay? This team is reeling, injuries or not. They're not making the progress. They're not going down the road. Here this team is with a woeful 1-6 record, 1-7 record at home, and you're just kind of going, what's the use? So for me personally, I think it's let's rip the Band-Aid off. Let's put the stitches in. Let's do what we have to do, and let's move on. Now, just because Cliff Kingsbury and Steve Keim have signed contract extensions doesn't mean there's a buyout that can't happen. So quite frankly, we're not seeing as fans, ex-football players, Cardinal fans that wait 2.5 hours in traffic to go watch that big old melted chocolate mess that we saw against the lowly New England Patriots. I think a lot of fans are in the same boat that you and I are, Brad, is that enough's enough. I mean, how much more of the frustration can everybody take? And it's just not happening whatsoever.
It's not. So we'll see what happens. I mean, this weekend is kind of like almost their last game, even though they have 3 left. But you might as well say this is it. They're not going to go anywhere. They might as well, you know what? They might as well put in our state champion high school football teams in to play for the last couple of games here, the way they've been doing. I'm just going to say that. That's all we got to say. And with that said, let's switch gears to that big smile. That grin is smiling right there, because this, ladies and gentlemen, is Coach of the Year. This is Coach of the Year because Sunday, his protege, the kid that you coached, pretty much, can we say, showed Tom Brady what the young kids can do. Am I right?
Yeah, how about that? First time Tom Brady's ever lost to a guy that starts his very first game. First time Tom Brady goes into San Francisco and loses to a starter, and that they were a dog. And that guy you're talking about is Brock Purdy from Gilbert Perry High School. What a phenomenal game this young man had. I've been coaching Brock since 9th grade. And 2 touchdown passes, 1 touchdown run, the poise of a 10-year veteran. And that's the kind of young man that Brock is. He's very mature. He's wise beyond his years, very even-keeled. And Mr. Irrelevant, who is the last pick in the draft this last year, has become very relevant now that basically Jimmy G is pretty much out for the season for the San Francisco 49ers. What an awesome individual. And Brad, I got to tell you, you'd appreciate this. You know, I train him year in and year out, and he's kind of that guy that's like, okay, what else do you have for me? How else can I get better? What else do I need to do? And he won't move away from a drill until he's perfected that drill. Wow. And the thing I love about Brock, he's such a humble, fine young man. It's all about the team and not him.
Yeah.
And he just says, Kyle Shanahan, who's the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers team, he says, hey, look, he puts his pieces around me. I do my job. And we're very, very fortunate to win. Brock Purdy, the most relevant individual in the National Football League, has come on the scene. And Brad, for me, training him, I just try not to screw him up. I just make sure I get him down the road and give him as much advice as I can.
Did he call you? Have you talked to him since then?
We've been texting back and forth, and he's so busy now that he's a starter. Heck, Brad, on his days off, the National Football League, your day off is on Tuesday, and he's in there watching film, meeting with Kyle Shanahan. Brian Greasy is the quarterback coach. The guys love him because of his work ethic He doesn't say anything. He's one of those young men. He's a rookie that is where it's, you'd rather be seen and not heard. And that's why that locker room loves this young man, because of his work ethic and always wanting to get better.
Well, it's because of you, sir. It's because of you. We're wrapping up, and I know you wanted to throw out, I guess, the correct recipe for your lasagna.
Oh, it's absolutely great. All you do is just go to Whole Foods or to Trader Joe's, go off into the refrigerating segment, open it up and get 2 of them. They are the best, because I cannot share with you the Riazzi's.
Yeah.
Riazzi's lasagna secret recipe. Brad, if I told you, I'd have to kill you. But I think they want you to stick around a little bit longer on the Arizona Daily Mix the way you do. I
love it. Dan, always a pleasure. I can't wait to get the exclusive with Brock that you're going to get us here on the Daily. So I love it.
Well, maybe when he's back in town, we'll get him on the Arizona Daily Mix.
Yeah.
And you can have at it. You know, you get a couple quarterbacks in there to come in there and, give you a little K-State culture and Iowa State culture. It's all about the the Big 12 coming into the studio.
There it is. I like it. Tell them where they can find you, sir.
It's Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B each and every day from 1 to 4 on Fox Sports 910. Go to @Roc and Manuch, or for me, talk about all those quarterbacks, go to @QB Manuch.
There it is. Dan, thanks for joining us, man. It's always great talking to you.
Always a pleasure, Brett. Thank you.